Today is Remembrance Day, November 11th in Canada. I'm going to share with you some photos that fundamentally changed my life. This is a happy picture that the war had ended, but I'm going to show you what it took. I went to France for a summer course, but I learned so much more. I had a professor there who was passionate about people understanding the wars and what it cost, and it was huge. If you've never been to Vimy Ridge, this is a poster celebrating the 100-year anniversary. This is so heartbreaking, but I need you to understand that what you get to eat, what you get to say, that you get to go everywhere and do what you want, and if you're in a free nation, that came at a cost, especially as a woman in Canada. This is some writing on the walls. They had an entire underground city, and the thing that really shook me was the story unfolded like this. Imagine hearing bombs and everything, and they lived underground in the most atrocious conditions, and they did it because they wanted to fight for our rights. If you go to Vimy Ridge, we had special permissions because of the University de Catholique in Lille, France I attended. They took us down into the ground, and you can see right here, the pics right there. They carved out with their bare hands this entire city to be underground to protect themselves. We were taken to these exact trenches, but they weren't in when they were fighting nice and clean and tidy and neat. Their feet were wet. They had to hardly have any food. There's lots of neat stories about them clinging to letters that were sent to them to keep hope. And it gives me goosebumps even telling you. Some of them had damage to their feet, and it was just shocking that I was told some men that were old enough, their brothers said, I want you to sign that I am 18. I'm going to fight with my brother. And this is where it gets really heartbreaking. These were the regiment supplies for Canadian soldiers. I wanted to get that. And I saw a horse in Ypres that, because remember, horses fought as well. And the sadness, I'll show you this horse. So in Ypres, there's in the Flanders Fields Museum, and I came across this horse that has been immortalized by taxidermy. But if you can look here, do you see here the mud? He was covered in mud. But what really brought me to tears is if you could just see the fear in this horse's eyes, that even horses fought for our freedom. This horse gave up its life, and it's just, there's nothing you can say. I just stood there knowing that I needed to take this in. Now what's interesting is there's the St. Julian Memorial. We have been given land for fighting to help win the war. There's even still live ammunition there, so let me show you that. So if you take a look here, this sign says danger. To educate you, you see the uneven terrain and the bombs that went off during the war. It's not natural. And so there's still live ammunition. Wires around, you can't walk through here. Then I had started crying. This is hard. These are just a few of the memorials and monuments that are there to acknowledge those that fought. And you can't see just looking at here, but if you zeroed in, every single line is a teeny tiny person's name that fought. and the sheer amount of people that lost their lives, that were lost in action. And I cried every time I saw that somebody went all the way around the world to find their loved ones named. And in some cases, you can see that there's flowers, but you can't see that they'll have a picture of their loved one, and they'll find their name and put the picture in. This is what got me as a Canadian. I wish I'd have gotten the picture, but over to my right, there's a pulpit where a priest was gathered with the men, and these were the steps to go out to fight. And he said, "Let's pray, boys. Some of you are not coming back." When I stood on these steps at the bottom and thought, could I do this? Could I really do this for someone else? Give up my life for someone else's freedom? It was such a profound moment in my life that I can't believe that they willingly went out there to fight for our rights. If you get to go to Vimy, standing under this statue, she's referred to as Mother Canada. It is a spiritual experience to stand under her, and she's just a statue, but the feelings, and it's just profound. She's looking over the vast land where all her sons were lost. And so if you ever get to go, or could you comment if you had the same experience I did? And the last and final picture that really hit me, I can share with you this moment. I broke down. This says, a Canadian soldier of the Great War. This means that this person was found, they couldn't identify them, their family never got peace of what happened to them, but they fought for our freedoms. I can't even tell you that there were stones like this, so numerous, there was hardly any grass left. And so today we say thank you to veterans past, present, and future. Thank you for what you do, for what you give up. We will never, ever forget. Peace and love.